Today I'm going to ask the question, why do we read? Hello everyone, my name is Harmony. If you're a new viewer, welcome, or if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I talk about books, book reviews, and any other reading related things I can think of. Today I thought I would ask the question, why do we read? Might be a simple one to learn new things or to use some form of escapism from reality, but the answer to that question is different for each of us. So some of the reasons that I read are, of course, to learn new things, gain more knowledge about the world and various subject areas and all kinds of things. But I also read because maybe I just want something light to laugh at, or something more reflective to think about. And so growing up I read a lot of, well, we had to read fiction for school, but outside of school I read mostly a lot of non-fiction because I absolutely loved and still do love to learn things. And yeah, having said that though, as I've got older, I'm also reading a lot more fiction as well as non-fiction, because, well, it's sometimes nice just to read stories, but I think in a way what a lot of authors do is they write a story largely based on real events, just with people's names changed, place names changed, etc. And I've heard it said that reading fiction can help with imagination and empathy, but I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, because if I'm reading, say, an autobiography about, that somebody's written about themselves, even if it's only what they want us to know or to believe, I can still imagine just as well. Similarly with books about history and about whatever else I'm trying to read about, learn about. And I can be a pretty strong empath anyway. It's just, putting yourself in someone else's shoes, as it were, is kind of, well, not quite the same as picking up on the emotions and on the experiences that other people are having, if that makes any sense whatsoever. The main thing I find about reading fiction is that once I've read a fiction book, I then become I become very interested in, say, the real events of what really happened around the time that the book was set or that the book was published. So I then get find more interesting things to research or to read about, and so it goes on. Sometimes as well I find that reading is just enjoyable and fun. The reason I read crime fiction is not because I like all the gore and violence and stuff, because I can't stand violence and horridness, but I read it mainly because I like the whole investigation thing, and in a way I find it more interesting to read something where the characters are all brought together and then the crime occurs, as opposed to the other way around where the crime's already occurred before anyone really gets there. Well, that's all I can think of for now, but leave me a comment below and let's see what are some of your reasons that you enjoy reading. Do you prefer fiction or non-fiction? Let's have a little discussion of this. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and I will see you all in the next video.